Hey guys, J77 here doing another entertainment roundup. This is actually the first ever live video of the entertainment roundup show. The first I've ever done in all of the episodes combined. The reason is pretty much is well, during these couple of episodes, there's more of a political theme with the entertainment roundup than I actually like to have. But with the two stories I'm talking about, I actually wanted to keep it pretty much more of a video theme. Don't get used to this though. It's only going to be pretty much one of those rare occasions. It's still going to be an audio only format, but in this situation, I like to keep it more of a live video feed than just an audio feed. And with the stories, it pretty much is centering around a lot of stuff that's going on, particularly in the southern states. A lot of people, Matic Expression, have talked about it. I, of course, have expressed my feelings towards this in the past. This has been a hot button, more so now than I think it really needs to be. And it's pretty much right now leading to the war of old thinking versus more open minded, more acceptance towards the younger voters, the younger people who sees views more differently than the older, older voters, more conservative types who believes that what they're doing is God's will, even though, in my opinion, it's just their personal views on how things should be, and they're willing to discriminate against anyone who threatens that view. I'm referring, of course, to the gay rights struggles. It has become pretty much front and center, especially since um, federal judges and federal law is more open now and recognizing same-sex marriages, recognizing the rights of gay couples, and it seems that a lot of the opposing politicians are doing everything they can to stop that, even making laws they know perfectly well that it's discriminatory towards those are who are gay. Um, Tennessee is trying to pass a law banning gays in restaurants, banning gays from services, even banning them from work. Kansas is also it's been it's been on the news a lot of time, and when I'm seeing this is it runs this is we're putting it this way, it's putting us in a very dangerous situation. It's putting us in a very dangerous situation where we don't really need to be. And it's a classic case of people don't want to see change. And it's hard for me to sit here and scratch my head how much they're willing to discriminate and bash a person of gender just so they can keep what they feel is um, God's way of viewing the world. I don't see too many of these bills as being passed all over the state sticking. I think it's going to be a lot of federal lawsuits, a lot of court battles that's going to happen. Already, we've seen a couple of judges banning, lifting bans over same-sex marriages. We're seeing a lot of legal fights in Utah and in other states across the globe. And these kind of situations, we're seeing counter bills to pretty much react to this. And seeing the Young Turks and reading all the other stuff that's going on in the media, it's really, really sad that you're seeing this kind of struggle. We're supposed to be beyond this, and yet there are people here that's not only willing to pass insane laws denying the rights of others, but they're willing to do it um, in such a way that it holds a very dangerous presence, not just for their freedom, but for everyone's freedom. Um, they can say what they want about religious rights. I'm not buying that for 1 minute. To me, I'm being honest. I think it's more about the individual not being comfortable of seeing something they don't understand or choose not to understand, and rather to be educated on situations, they want to make it disappear by passing laws that prevent them to doing certain things, by passing laws preventing even teachers even mentioning or recognizing that these people are actually existing, and by basically saying you can't do this. This is not the right way. You need to go somewhere else. You need to be somewhere not in sight, not in mind. And that's exactly what I'm seeing when it comes to these. And these guys are full of themselves. They say, well, it's our religious belief. Since when your religious beliefs justify you discriminating against other people? And again, this is one of those things where this is an entertainment roundup news. It's supposed to be about entertainment. But again, I got two stories that really is reflecting on what's going on, not just in the United States, but also across the country. Russia is having this situation where a lot of people felt that they don't deserve the Olympics based on their stance and their anti-gay laws. Putin came out and said that they need to leave the children alone, which makes no sense. But this is some of the part of the things why people justify making these laws because they believe in one thing without being educated on another. And we have a situation here that's no different. But you have two stories here that one I really look at, and I'm actually going to keep a very close eye on, especially since it did hit the main news, sports news world, and how people are looking at this. And the sports world had talked about this, especially today on WFAN, how this is going to be a huge difference, especially in the draft. We also have a well-known, well-credited movie star, a young movie star, a young actress, who also came out in the open. So this is something that these two stories are hitting home and very much is putting center stage even more on this issue. And to me, this is an issue that I feel that need to stay on the spotlight, that needs to be put front and center. And people, especially young people, need to start voicing their opinion now more than ever, and not ignore the voting booths. This is one thing that I was very disappointing in, especially in terms of New York City, is that there was a very low turnout on New York voters, as well as minority voters, and we can't continue to ignore the facts of what's going on right in front of us. A lot of stuff has happened, a lot of laws have been passed, and it's not into a lot of Americans' favors. But we're too busy fighting this situation, and let's be honest, it really is a distraction to what's going on in the overall picture. And that is a lot of the politicians are taking rights away from us little by little. And this here, what's going on in the South states, is a prime example of that. They're passing laws basically to discriminate against other people. And many people want to say, oh, it's different because it's not really about race. You're still discriminating against people. You're taking away rights to which me, you, and anybody else have the privilege of. And to me, that's just simply it's wrong. It's wrong. And I think that people need to start realizing that a lot more than what they are, because this can be for start of something even more bigger. And then what you're going to say, you had a chance to stick up for this, but you didn't. With that being said, these are the two stories that really prompted me to start talking about this, especially in the entertainment world. But I'm going to start with Ellen Page first, because Ellen Page have made an emotional announcement about a few days ago, and it pretty much has broken the airways in Hollywood. But I'm going to read the article here, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. American actress, which she's, I believe, Canadian, I think. I'm pretty sure that that's needs to be corrected. But an American actress, Ellen Page, has come out as gay, saying that she tired of hiding and tired of lying by omission. With a slightly trembling voice, the Juno star delivered an impassionate speech on Valentine's Day in front of hundreds of the Human Rights Campaign, in front of the Human Rights Campaign Foundation Time to Thrive conference in Las Vegas. I'm here today because I'm gay, Page said, pausing briefly and receiving a standing ovation from the audience members, and because maybe I can make a difference to help others and have an easier and more hopeful time. The article also says here that actress Ellen Page came out as gay at the Human Rights on February 14th. The 26-year-old thanks those in the conference crowd who work with The council LGBTQ teens for expiring her to come out. I suffered for years because I was scared to be out, Pace said. My spirit suffered, my mental health suffered, and my relationship suffered. We deserve to experience love fully, equally, and without shame and without compromise, she said. After receiving an outpouring of public support, Paige took to Twitter to thank her fans. The Twitters did. I said in some of the Twitter's remarks, and it is very deep. A lot of her fans who had followed her for over the years had have voices their support, their indeed, and to me, I have no problem with her coming out. One thing I will say about Ellen Page is that uh, she uh, she is one of the premier actresses, very young, very talented. She has been in a lot of movies that I really like, and she actually surprised me because when I first heard of her, it was through Gino. I actually follow her in other films that she was in. One of the most toughest films I think I saw her in was American Crime. Inception, of course. She's done a lot of independent work, more so than mainstream work. The one thing I also will say is that she kept her private life pretty private. She really hasn't opened up to her private life, and that's probably one of the reasons why she hasn't. It is really is something that, and I saw the video, and it really was difficult for her to come out and open like this. And I will leave a link, by the way, as always, so you can look at the article as well as the video, because it's a full video. It is also on YouTube, by the way, so you can actually check it out as well. But it is a very big deal. But there is something that she had mentioned that um, I don't think a lot of these anti-gay activists don't realize. While you constantly pushing them back into this isolated wall, which a lot of them want them to do. They don't want them to see them. They don't want them to mention it. They don't want to recognize it. To them, they make all these excuses. You're setting a bad matches, and two, you're bringing you're scarring them mentally to the point where it can end up very bad. And the fact that perfect example, Ellen Page, she's one of the biggest stars, hottest stars out there. She has an upcoming movie coming out, of course, with the X-Men, Days of Future Past, and yet she felt that she had to hide her true self because she was afraid of coming out. Um, this is this article pretty much says it all. That video that she that was in says it all. And to me, these people are human beings. I mean, they are human beings, and most of them are very successful, very productive, productive people in society. And I feel that this is something that I think a lot of these guys who screaming bloody murder, who screaming that they are detrimental to society, needs to start recognizing. Um, I'm gonna leave an article to this page, to this story. I'd like to hear your opinion on this and voice it. But to me, I have no problem with what she did, and I think that if she can help make a difference, it would be a positive, not a negative. Now let's get on to something here that I really a lot of people's going to keep an eye on. WFAN have talked about this early in the morning. And this one is even more of a challenge because this is about sports. And a lot of athletes, especially from New York, have voiced their opinion on whether they feel it's okay for if a person who came out as being gay, would they be accepted in the locker room? And a lot of people who I have seen wasn't very comfortable with that. And I'll explain that a little bit later. But this is involving a football player, I believe, or a basketball player, Michael Sam, after he came out, and as a result, uh, I don't even want to call them the church. I just call them. I'm calling like it all a bunch of hate groups. That's what they are. And you know what I'm getting at here. I make no mistake. No. disdain about my feelings towards this particular group, and that's the Westboro group. If you want to call it Baptist Church, that's fine, but to me, I'm not going to give them that right title. I'll read the article here, and I'm gonna go as far as why this is very even more important because, especially in athletes, because a lot of athletes have mixed feelings on this. A group of Missouri students formed a human wall outside of Mosul Avenue on Saturday, supporting Michael Sam. Um, Students were attempting to block from view members of the Westboro Baptist Church who were in town to protest against the outpouring of support from former Missouri defense end Michael Sam, who was announced that he was gay early this month. Sam and the rest of Missouri football team were honored during a basketball game and against Tennessee. So it is a football. Tennessee, Sam received one of the loudest ovations from fans when the team was acknowledged. Sam earned the SEC Defensive Player of the Year award during the 2013 season and is projected to be in the mid-round selections on April NFL drafts as early as a defensive end or a linebacker. He told his teammates and coach he was gay prior to the stats of last season and told the rest of the world early this month when he signed with the NFL franchise at some point later on in the spring or summer. Sam will become the first actively openly gay NFL player. Members of the hate group, I'm glad that they announced that. Members of the hate group outside of the arena holding signs that condemns the community and school support for Sam students who formed a wall try to corner the protest by turning their back and signing a Missouri Armada mentor. Alex Cortruth and Kenny Laker were the students who organized the Stand With Sam counterpoint. Great job for the team. I'm very. Pride is not even beyond my belief. Great job for sticking up for them. Great job for the community for giving them that support. And Westboro Baptist Church, you can go to hell. I'm sorry to say, you guys are a bunch of disgusting human beings. Okay, and let's just put the side about this here. There are a lot of other reasons that I have my disdain and disrespect for you guys, and believe me, this is just part of it. Okay, and like I said before, and I say it again, and I said it again in blogs, it's amazing how a lot of these so-called Christian groups feel it's in their right and their religious belief to discriminate against other people, to basically bash other people. Well, when they are the ones that are getting criticized, all of a sudden you're attacking their religious beliefs. Give me a break. But again, the story is good news in many ways, but it also brought a lot of concern. And another one, and I'm going to go to the WFAN side here because WFAN have brought this out in a very well done interview and a very well done segment. And that is, the fact is, in reality, is that not all people in sports are supportive of this. I had to go back to the Yankees. First of all, Jordy Rod, he had made an openly comment saying that it's time that people who are open should play. He wants to win. He doesn't care about what your sexual preference is. He wants to win. If you want to help us win, be my guest. However, there's a whole lot of people out there who's athletes who will not feel comfortable sharing the same locker room with someone who they know who is gay. A lot of athletes have opened up. I believe Andy Pennant have said something about this. So there is that insecurity factor that plays more in sports than entertainment. Because in entertainment, we had a lot of entertainers who came out openly. Elton John, Sinatra, Alex DeGenerate, Nathan Lane. I can go on the list. These are entertainers, but you know what? We don't look at their sexual preferences because we like their music. We like their performance on stage. We like their TV shows. We don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to sports, when you're sharing the same locker and also the same shower room, that becomes a whole different issue by itself. And yes, there are a lot of athletes who probably won't never name themselves by names who may not feel comfortable. And here's the thing that that the WFA had brought up that was very interesting. And I listened to this while I was waiting for my computer to come on doing the coffee shop, which took forever. Um, they had mentioned that this football player, Michael Sam, was a late first round draft. And all of a sudden, they found excuses that said that he may be a third round draft pick. Do you see the connection here? And it's like, wait a minute, you just said he was a late first rounder. Now, how all of a sudden became a third round draft pick? And it's very obviously what they're doing. It's very obvious that a lot of the teams out there are not is not comfortable picking this Michael Sam up as a early round draft pick or just put him in a team at all. And WFAN had mentioned, I forgot the guy's name. This is the first time I've ever heard of him. But I'm pretty sure someone will post that interview up on YouTube because it's a very great interview. It will have to take a very open-minded coach and a very open-minded team to take that step, and that's the biggest key. Is about taking that next step because I'm telling you right now, Michael Sam is going to have a very tough time with that challenges, and and that's something of a reality. He's going to have a harder time than Ellen Page is going to have in terms of being accepted in that community because this is a sports community. And that is something that WFA had pointed out, and they do have a point. Keep in mind, it's pretty much the same scenario as Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson, nobody wanted him on his team. The Dodgers, even his own team that he was selected to play, the Dodgers, they made a petition to try and keep him out. It took a bravery of an owner and a bravery of a selected few ball players to make him feel welcome. It took time, and this is something that that is gonna have to take. It's gonna take time. I hope he gets picked. I hope he does well in football. I hope he shows that hey, look, we're human beings just like anybody else. And believe me, we all know that he's not the only one who was gay who played in any athletic sports. There are people who was in the Olympics that are openly gay and playing Olympics. I know that, but the point is, he is open. Everybody knows that, and because of that information, there are going to be a lot of them saying they probably when he goes in the shower, they don't want to be in there the shower, or they don't want to be in there in the locker room. You're going to get that, and this is something of a challenge that I'm hoping that will not deter other teams to pick him, and when they do pick him, is to embrace him and let him do what you guys have drafted him to do. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm hoping that this works out for him. But again, overall, this story here, great story, great job, and again, Westboro Baptist Church, I have no love for you. I think you're nothing but a hate group, and the fact that you're using Baptist in your organization disgusts me. I'm hoping that that the United States found a way to label you off as a church and more like as a terrorist group because that's what you are. That's all I got to say about you guys. All right, moving right along. I got a few more stories, and plus one story that I actually do want to talk about, but I'll leave that for last. I want to bring this up here. It's amazingly that this is a reality channel series. It's actually based on a reverend, and this reverend have died from a snake bite poison. And you're kind of wondering what the hell is that possible? Well, I'm gonna read the article, and then you actually will understand a little bit, and I will get my own to say on the matter. With the first season fully filmed, National Geographic had no plans for a second season of Snake Salvation, said the network rep. Now that the wake of Jamie Koch's death, Nat Geo is working up a special tribute episode so people can understand Pastor Jamie and his methods of worship and see that he died doing what he believes was his calling. Okay, this is from Natural Geographic. Jamie Colton, one of the stars of National Geographic's reality show Snake Salvation, died Saturday of a venomous snake bite, according to reports. He refused medical attention. That was his first mistake. After being bitten in his full gospel tabernacle in Jesus' name in Middlesboro, Kentucky, and died shortly thereafter in his home. The show debated last depicted last fall centered on two Pentecostal preachers who handled deadly snakes as part of a century-old practice originating from the Bible passage that suggests those anointed by God will not be harmed by poisonous snake bites. Coles had previously been bitten 9 times and lost a finger to a rattlesnake. Rattlesnake bite. He starred on Snake Salvation alongside Tennessee pastor Andrew Humbell, both of who claim serpents handling is the First Amendment religious right. Really? A pair have come under fire from authorities for hunting and collecting deadly snakes for their church services. Last year, Colt pleaded guilty to illegally possessing and transporting 3 rattlesnakes and 2 copperheads in Tennessee after the state seized them in a traffic stop as he was driving from Alabama to Kentucky. Alright, so as crazy as this may sound, this is not surprising. In fact, years ago I've heard about this. There are churches who do practice this, and surprisingly there are countries who also practice it. There are certain religious attitude that believes that if you are not in sin, no animals will harm you. These churches have been doing this. There's been a lot of controversy behind that, and I don't know if most of these states have took legal action. I don't think they did because some of these churches still do it. The bottom line is this: he died because he didn't get the medical attention he needed. Okay, that's just the bottom line. I mean, I read the one thing he said. He refused medical treatment. If a poisonous snake bit you, you need to get medical treatment immediately. There's no question about it. But he refused. He had faith that everything was turned out. Even though he was bitten 9 times and lost a finger, he still refused to get medical treatment, and this time it cost him his life. All right. Now, as far as National Geographic taping the actual show, they're in their right to do that. They got the first season. They're not planning to do a second season for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to get mad at them if they do. The point I'm trying to say is this, and again, this has been pretty much a political religious episode. This has been a practice, and I'm always saying, if I'm feeling sick, I'm going to the doctor. Right? Why? Because God gave me that medicine. Right? The idea that I'm supposed to not deny myself the medicine that is actually there to help me is ridiculous. Okay? The guy practiced what he preached. This is what happens. I don't wish any ill will on anybody like that. But when it comes to that situation, especially when it comes to a snake bite like that, get the help. Get the help. That's all I got to say. All right? Again, this is not a shock to me. I've heard stories like this before. I heard stories that happen in other countries. Other countries are more into that than what people believe. This goes back to even ancient times. Many people from the ancient time believed that the person who didn't commit adultery would not get bitten by a snake. What was the first test they do? Put your hand in the jar. That actually did happen. So, if snake don't bite you, that means you didn't do anything wrong. Snake bites you, you did everything wrong. You deserve to die. Man, oh man, oh man. Kind of wish he would have went out to help, I really do. This is very sad, but again, it doesn't surprise me when it comes to that kind of thinking. And like I said, there's been a lot of stories that a person who's in a church ended up getting killed by these snakes because to them, they were sinning. Maybe then people will think twice a little bit when going to churches like these. But you never know. Moving on. Alright, as you guys already know, Lego the movie has been a surprise smash hit. A lot of people have talked about have actually had high praises for this film. It has recently beat out RoboCop, which is not much of a surprise because RoboCop, a lot of people have mixed feelings on it. And even though RoboCop had pretty decent reviews, I think the worst they have gotten is 2 stars, the best 2.5 to 3 stars. Many people are not buying into the RoboCop fad as much as they used to. Honestly, I thought RoboCop 1 was that should have been it, one and done. I didn't think it should have been any other movies after that. But the remake didn't do anything to dent Lego. Lego is just a funner film, and it has pretty much gotten rave reviews. And once again, it's in the top of the box office. And it seems like the Lego crave is not going to be done anytime soon because an announcement has been made that The Simpsons is going to have a Lego episode. This is going to come after their 550th episode. That's amazing they survived that long. Amazing this has survived that long. But the story is pretty much simple. It says the Simpsons Lego episode have gotten its air date from Fox. The Brick Like Me, that's what the name of the episode is. It's going to be the 150th episode of the long-running Fox animated series. Will air on, and this is the date, May 4th at 8 o'clock. So that's the date that's going to be aired in a special show. Homer wakes up in a world where his family, and I wish they didn't. I mean, you know what? I'm going to leave that alone. Just know that it's going to be a Lego episode. That's what it is. I'm not going to put this out because I don't want to give out spoilers. But needless to say, it's going to be just like what you expect from the video games as well as the toys that you guys have played with. So again, that's the date. The date is going to be May 4th. The episode Brick Like Me. It is the 550th episode. And that's it. I'm very debating whether or not I should post this article up. I'm gonna have to do it because I know people are gonna look for it anyway. But I advise you not to go too far because it could actually spoil some of the stuff that has happened. Because this is an episode I think you just need to go in with your eyes blinded. That's basically what it is. This is the one episode that you look forward to seeing. It's a typical Simpson episode. It's the same way with the Halloween episodes they always have. You should go in there just basically in for a real treat. Now, again, this is because of what the Lego is doing. It says in the article that Lego is currently the #1 movie in America, earning a total of $77.9 million as of Friday. It is projected to rank in as much as $55 over the 4-day President Day weekend and expected to top MGA RoboCop, which it has, in 3,775 theaters. So, there you have it, guys. There's the logo. There it is. I'll leave a link to that story. And pretty much I've talked about all the stories here. And I might as well end this with the recognition of one of the America's greatest icons doing where the movies were at is, I call second period, not the golden age, because the golden age was pretty much before the big events leading to the Great Depression. And that is Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple, it's kind of amazing. I did see some of her movies, and I can fully understand why people have fell in love with this actress. And let's be realistic here. There hasn't been another child actress like her. She is the mega star queen of child acting. There's no question about it. And to me, when you look at her career, she had done 50 films at her age before she even reached the age of 14. That is something, okay? And here's the thing about it, not taking anything away from Shirley Temple in terms of her stardom. I never considered her as a great actress. I'm being honest. To me, she was a symbol, an image that America needed at a very crucial time. She came out at a time where there was really hardly any laughter that anybody was sharing, and that was the Great Depression. And she gave them something to smile about. She gave them something, like a distraction from what was going on once they entered that theater. And that was what made her so unique, so special. Because when people ask me about Shirley Temple and ask me where do I rank her as the other stars, I really don't have much of a ranking in terms of the acting ability. Because let's be honest, do I consider Shirley Temple better than Julie Garland or Mickey Rooney at their height of their career? No, I didn't. In fact, even the Hollywood studios, who wanted to place her in a movie with Mickey Rooney and Julie Garland, didn't do it because they knew that their acting was going to overshadow them. Yet, despite all that, she is still the most recognizable icon in movie cinema history. You see her face, you know that's Shirley Temple, even if you haven't seen a single film. There's no question about that either. So that's the one thing that separates her from the two actors that I've said. And let's be honest, most child actors owe a great deal to Shirley Temple. Like I said, she was a megastar where in Hollywood, child stars was not taken seriously. They did not get top billing. She got top billing, and rightfully so. And so, Hollywood lost a very strong legend. And the strange thing about it is that she is more recognizable for her roles than what she did afterwards when she left the big movie theater, left movies. Period. She really played a stronger role as an ambassador, as a family woman, and she really had. When she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she actually even became even more recognizable then than she was when she was a kid. Yet all that seems to go under the shadow by her film roles. But she really is one of the great ones. She really is, and there's no question about she earned that because if you look at everybody other child stars that come out, even those who you did see during that time period, she's always the one that hands out, and that says a lot to her career. She had 50 films. Um, she had, she really was a star that everybody. She put a smile on her face, and she died at the age of 85. But to me, she left behind a legacy that will never be topped. That will never be topped. And to me, to a person who loves movies, I just gotta say, thanks for the great memories. Thanks for the great for the film that you produced, especially during a time where they needed the most. It really was. She really was that important to Hollywood at that crucial time. But that's pretty much it, guys. J77 is done as always. I'll leave articles that I've talked about here. Again, this is a little bit more political than I actually expected, but like I said, during the two topics that I was talking about, I felt the need to actually bring that up as well as the two topics I have at hand. But again, your opinion matters. I like to hear what you have to say. Until then, J77 is saying take care, be safe, be sure to read the articles that these topics are based upon, and I talk to you soon.